Hi guys, and welcome back to Cutting Through the Red Tape. It is your girl LaShonta, and we are back for a very special show. And look who I have on my show, my babies. Oh my gosh, I am so tickled pink to have them on the show with me today. Of course, you all know that today is Mother's Day, and I wanted to do a special edition on my show for all the mothers across the world. I asked my mom to sit in with me to do this show today, and she respectfully declined. So shout out to Audrey Mims. I love you, girl. Happy Mother's Day to you. You have been everything that I needed you to be, even when you were hard on me, even when you told me no, even when you said I can't go, even when you told me that, you became pregnant and I'm going to allow you to raise your children. So even in the hard times, you were there. Even in the good times, the bad times, you were there. So I appreciate you. Shout out to my mommy, Audrey Mims. I hope you are having a fantastic day. And we'll be by to see you shortly. So yeah. Happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers, the aunties, the grandmas, even to the ones who did not physically give birth, but you care for a child or you're there for that child in their life. So we just want to say Happy Mother's Day to you, and shout out to all of you who are taking care of all of the beautiful children in the world, who have birthed children and who have not birthed children. So yeah, we appreciate you so much on Cutting Through the Red Tape. But yeah, let's get into it. You know how we do. We like to cut right through it. And today I do have my babies here with me. So this is a very special show. I'm tickled, excited. They are nervous, but Buddy was like, "Ma, I want to come on your show." And of course, I had to drag Mijah. I had to drag her up here to sit and talk with us. But my baby boy was definitely excited to see all of you. So yeah, today we're gonna talk about parenting, and we're gonna talk about some of the hard things. So I've asked my children to be truthful. I told them, I said, now don't come on my show hurting my feelings and embarrassing me. I said, but I do want to know, and I do think that we should take out the time to talk to our children, to understand sometimes we do things and sometimes we say things and they're just not the right things to say. Just like the Bible tells us, whenever we receive word, it could either be in season or out of season. And sometimes we say things that we shouldn't say. Sometimes we do things that we shouldn't do. And I'm not perfect. I didn't raise perfect children. I don't have a perfect environment. I try every single day. I did what I knew to do to raise my children, how I learned to raise them. And you know what I'm saying? So we just kind of like going with the flow of things. I know I'm not the only one out there in the world who, didn't have it all figured out, didn't have it all together. And so this is a learning segment. This is something that we all need to take time to do so that we can, be better for our children and, make sure that they are in a better place, not just physically, but mentally too, because children deal with so many things that we don't know about. They hide things, they tell other people, or they use other things to cope. And so I just think it's very important for us to actually take the time to learn our children, to talk to them, to understand them, not technically be their friends, but you gotta meet them where they are. You have to speak to them on the level that they are so that they will, feel comfortable enough to come to you and say, hey, I messed up. Hey, I got into this. Hey, I need more understanding. And so, so they will feel more comfortable with coming to you with whatever they're struggling with or whatever they have going on in the school. Like, a lot of children are being bullied. A lot of children are being pressured, and we don't know these things because we're not taking the time to listen, and we're not taking the time to show up for our babies. So that's what I want to do on today, because this is Mother's Day, and because we as mothers, we have a lot going on. We work full time. Some of us are wives. We have children. We have households to take care of. Some of us are CEOs. Some of us are presidents. Some of us are leaders, principals. Some of us are mayors, and whatever your title is. At the end of the day, you are still a mother. And your children should come second, because God is always going to come first. And so that's what I wanted us to, have this session on today, about being a mother and caring for your offspring. Okay, so let's get right into it. All right, so to my right, I have my beautiful daughter, Mijah, who is, can you tell me your age, Mijah?
You can tell.
Mijah is 19. Oh my gosh, she will be 20 this year. My goodness, somebody please come get me off the floor, honey. My baby will be 20 years old, my first born. Actually, Mijah and I are exactly 20 years apart. Like, I'm not gonna tell my age, but if you can, Johnny had 5 apples. Quick math. But yes, I am excited about her being 20 years old this year. It just warms my heart. And so, yeah. And to my left, we have y'all already know, Buddy. So Buddy just turned 13 years old this year. So I have a teenager. Oh my gosh. And Lord have mercy, is Buddy this and Buddy that. Everybody knows Buddy. And so yeah, so we are definitely excited. Y'all excited?
Yes.
Y'all excited to be on the show?
Yes.
Yes. You excited? I'm excited for you guys to be joining me on the show today. Okay, so as I mentioned, Mijah is going to be 20 years old this year. We are exactly 20 years apart. Mijah, how's it going?
I'd say it's going.
It's going.
Yeah.
It's going, girl. I know. Listen, let me tell you. Mijah, I was telling her earlier before we came and done this show, I was like, Mijah, literally, we grew up together.
Yeah.
Like, listen, y'all, I went off to North Carolina Central, and I was there for a year. And right before I left to go to North Carolina Central, I had a migraine for like a year. So I was battling with having headaches every single day, and went to doctor after doctor here in Clinton, North Carolina, and they could not help me. Put me on a bunch of prescriptions and was hoping that the migraines would go away, but they never did. They never went away. I went off to North Carolina Central University. And I ended up passing out in class. They shipped me to Duke. So shout out to Duke for saving my life. Went to Duke and found out that I had fluid on top of my brain, and it was causing pressure on my brain, which was, pressing my brain down into my spine. And so once I got the information and they told me what they needed to do, but before they could do that, they called me while I was sitting in my dorm to tell me that I was 8 weeks pregnant and that they were going to have to put off the surgery a little while longer because they wanted to make sure that my baby survived. And here she is 20 years later, my baby. So they were able to correct the surgery where they were able to correct the problem within my brain. And so the headaches went away, but I did end up coming home from North Carolina Central due to being sick and, you know, having a baby to raise. And this is her. Welcome to the show, Mijah.
Hi, thank you.
You're welcome. So, Mijah, let's talk to the people. How has it been growing up with your mom?
You know, as you stated previously, it's a learning process.
It's a learning process.
And there's a lot of things that we had to learn along the way.
Yes.
And learn about each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we pretty much figured out we're at a good, solid ground foundation right now. And overall, just love having you as a mom.
Oh,
I know, and I know we fuss and fight.
Fuss and fight?
No, not like we have our moments, our disputes. But overall, we come together and we come to an understanding with within each other, and I really appreciate that.
Right. Okay. And I appreciate that too. So whenever you say that we come together, and that we come to an understanding, like what does that look like for you?
I don't know if I can talk about this. Recently, we got into a dispute.
Mm-hmm.
Where it was pretty rocky. It was pretty rocky.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't stop fighting for me.
Okay.
And you came to me,
mm-hmm.
and now that I'm older, I'd say as a woman,
mm-hmm.
and you talked to me. You sat me down, you looked at me straight in my face, and you said, we need to talk about this.
Right.
So, like I said, I appreciate that. And that's what that looks like for me. Okay.
So, you're right. We had a dispute, and I did give you time. I gave you
mm-hmm.
time to cool off, and I gave myself time to cool off.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, I went to where you were.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a conversation. I think we went out to eat
mm-hmm.
or whatever. And we actually talked.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's not how it's always been.
No.
That's what we have grown into.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But previously, would you say that I've handled our disputes well, or would you say that I have grown significantly?
You've grown significantly. And so have I, honestly. Growing up, I was closed in. I was very much closed in.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't talk to you about certain things. I didn't talk to anybody about certain things. I handled it on my own, and I kept it to myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm learning more how to talk about my feelings
mm-hmm.
and release them and talk to you about how things have made me feel.
Right.
So we both grown significantly.
Significantly.
Yes.
Because what is something that I always say to you guys? I always say, use your
words.
Use your words. Because that's the only way
mm-hmm. we
would know what's going on.
Right.
Like, you have to use your words in order to get someone to understand
mm-hmm.
what, you know, how you feel.
mm-hmm.
And that's not bad.
Right.
It's not a bad thing to tell somebody how you feel. Do you think, buddy?
No, it's just like you expressing how you feel, and you gotta show them instead of like keeping your mouth closed. People always say, "Closed mouth, you won't get fed."
Right? buddy, you better talk up in here. Said my son said a closed mouth will not get fed, and that's absolutely correct. Because if you don't tell me that I have hurt your feelings, and I don't feel like I have hurt your feelings, then why are you mad at me?
Right.
Especially if I don't know. Right?
Right.
Anybody want to add to that? No? Okay, so that's good to know. Other than that, other than the disputes and how we have handled them, what would you say, if I can ask, what would you say as far as like your childhood? Like, is there anything that you would do different, like when you become a parent, or when you become a mom? Is there anything different that you would do as far as how you were raised?
There's a lot of things that I would say I would do differently. Growing up, I would make it a more safe and comfortable space for my child to express. Like, I'm not saying you did a bad job. It was just, you had a lot on your plate. And you took care of me. You took care of me and Buddy. You took care of, the household and everything else as far as that. But I never really felt truly comfortable. So that's why I always stayed in my room, and, I just stayed to myself. And these are signs for me that I've seen that I would notice on my child. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I would go forth from there.
Right.
Like, I would start noticing the signs. I feel like there was a lot of signs of a lot of different things, but, life, you get caught up in life, and it distracts you. Life is a distraction. And yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like I wouldn't more so get too distracted when it comes to my children. That's
good. That's good. Because you did say I had a lot on my plate. We have had a lot going on. And so I missed some signs. I missed some things when it came to you and, you know what I'm saying, kind of like scaling back, being in your room and things like that. I was just thinking maybe it was a part of growing up and a part of life. Kids, they do that from time to time, but you are absolutely right. Things in life can cause you to be distracted. And so I'm glad that you picked up on that, and that you learned from that, and that's something that you would carry on to your children. Is there anything else?
Not that I can really think of at the moment.
Not that you can really think of.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about, how do you feel about growing up in a home where we was Bible based or church based?
It's different. It's not something that I didn't enjoy. It's just different from, per se, school. Me being at home and then go to school for 8 hours, and it's not church based. It was confusing for me. It was really confusing, and I was getting caught up into the world a little bit, with worldly things and other situations and things like that. It was just confusing. I was lukewarm, which I would say.
Not lukewarm.
I would say because it was some things that I like in the world, and I love Jesus. So,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was confusing, but when I got back home, I know I could be who I really was. You know what I'm saying? It was where I needed to be. You know what I'm saying? And I really appreciated growing up in a church-based home. Yeah, I really did, because I've tried to do the world things, and being that I grew up in a church-based home, I quickly found out that they were not for me.
Okay.
Not for me at all. And I really appreciate that. So far along, when I get older in life, I won't go down that wrong path.
Okay. But you were still able to be a child as well. Because we do know, that God forgives and he loves us very, very, very much. And that, what I'm saying, growing up is difficult because, like you said, going to school, your friends, they're not really going to church and they're not really, speaking Bible, quoting scriptures and praying all the time, but would you say that because you did grow up in church, and you were Bible based, were you able to help your friends when it came to, them having issues and them having problems?
Kinda. And let me explain that. So some of my friends, I wouldn't say they didn't believe in God. They just weren't into it too much. So, when I explained a little bit of God to them, it was just going out one ear. It was going in one ear and coming out the other. And then some other friends I could actually talk to about God. And, we talk scripture and read our Bibles together and things like that. So it just really depended on who I was around at the time, and quickly found out I didn't need to be around them either. So
right. Okay, I get it. So mama kept me in church. My cousins and brothers, they could go play, they could do, they had a lot of free time, but I had 7 Gables skating ring and church. That's what I had. And so I'm grateful for growing up in a home where my mama was 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning hollering, praising the Lord and praying for us and stuff like that. And so that was one of the things that I wanted to carry on when it came to my children as well. But I also learned from my mom that I wanted my children to have just a little bit more freedom. I wanted them to not be so closed in. And whenever it's time for them to get out in the world, I did not want my children to be afraid. A lot of people don't know this, but when my mom dropped me off at North Carolina Central, I sat in the stairwell, or however you say it. And I cried for at least an hour, and until I realized that she was not coming back. Like, sis had dropped me off. She dropped me, my stuff. She decked my room out. I had SpongeBob, everything. That was probably the first mistake right there, to let you know that I wasn't grown yet. But I had SpongeBob, everything. They sent me off nice. They sent sis off nice. They stayed with me. We had a good time. They set my dorm up and left. And I looked at my mama like, where are you going? And she said, it's time for me to go. And honey, I struggled for a while because I had not been away from my mom that long. And so, I finally got myself together and I started enjoying college. I didn't go off far. I went either, when I left out, I either went to the left or I went to the right, and I went straight. Whatever I found on those 2 roads, that's what I did at North Carolina Central. But, I will say that I learned, a different, parenting style. And so that's what I wanted to do when it came to my children. I wanted to kind of like be on the same path as the way I was raised, but I also wanted to shake up a little, shake the foundation up a little bit. And I can say I think we're doing okay. What you think, buddy? How's it going for you?
It's going good for me. Most likely, I always love going to the skating rink most of the time. And yeah, it's because I never grew up going to the skating rink. I always stay home. I never grew up going to the skating rink. It's like for the past 3 years ago, I got into skating and I can't get out of it. Like,
yeah, buddy, you're only 13. So going to the skate, never been going to the skate rink, son. 3 years ago, you was 10. And no, sir, I was not dropping you off at the skating rink to skate all night long. Absolutely not.
Wait. When did I start? 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah. But okay, so how do you feel about growing up in a Bible-based home? How do you feel about that?
I feel like it's actually good, getting me closer to the Lord so I know more and like make me like a better man and stuff. Getting into the Bible, praying, like growing up and like trying to help other people that don't understand and people that don't know and have to let them realize like what it's about and stuff. And like I had some friends like a couple years ago, I think he moved. His people didn't believe in God, so I got him closer to God. And I told him to go tell his family members that don't believe in God, tell them what I've been telling you and stuff, like telling them that he's real and stuff, and trying to get him closer to the Lord so he can get his other people close to the Lord. And yeah, like it's good growing up in a gospel or Baptist home.
Okay, thank you so very much for that. So understanding what you're saying, that's so good that you said that, you know, you was bringing your friend closer to the Lord and all of that. So how do you feel as far as like growing up with me? I know we've only been together for 13 years, but are there some things that you would do different when you become a father? When you get ready to settle down and have your children when you're 42, I would say 45 would be a good age.
45. Yeah. I'm gonna be a grown man. My back gonna be my back not gonna be able to move. Like I'm gonna have a bad back.
Stay focused, baby. Stay focused. We're not worried about the back, okay? We're worried about other things, okay? Not the back don't have at 45 your back should be good, baby, okay? You have to learn how to take care of your body and work out and be athletic. Yeah, 45, that's a good age. No, don't whisper. No, don't whisper. Don't whisper. But is there anything that you would do different whenever you become of age to start your family?
I'll try to bring the gospel in them maybe and like talk to them about your grandmother, your great grandma and your auntie, how we grew up together and like show them stuff that I used to do as a kid. Like you know how you got me into that camp? Remember?
Camp Agape. Shout out to Camp Agape. I was in Camp Agape when I was younger. Coach Bryant. Shout out to him. He has resurfaced and now our children, it's not just me, but our children who were once a part of Camp Agape, their children are now in the same program. So shout out to Coach Bryant. I might try to get him on the show so he can come in and talk about the new things that they have going on. So what was you saying about Camp Agape?
It's a fun camp for your kids, like that grew up with your mom's people that they grew up with, like.
And what do y'all do?
We do flag football. Sometimes we eat snacks and.
It's Bible based too, right?
It's Bible based. We learn about the Lord.
Yeah.
And stuff. And
see, y'all got it easy because we were like military. We had like Army fatigue. We was like soldiers. So I'm gonna talk to him about getting y'all into that because it was hard for us too. It's gonna need to be hard for y'all too. So don't worry, it's coming. But what are some things that you would like for me to know as being your mom, or some things that you would like for me to work on, or some things that you want to talk about or discuss? Is there anything?
I have to get a whole list because I'm going to name a lot.
What? Name a list? What in the world? Just give me like 2 or 3. Just give me like 2 or 3 things.
So, you want me to tell you what I like about you?
No. I want you to tell me something that you want me to work on as, being your mom, like some things that maybe I had missed because Mijah said that I wasn't very attentive sometimes, like I was distracted when she had some things going on and I wasn't, attentive to her needs at that particular time.
So things I want you to do good on is when I'm trying to talk to you, please turn your beats down because you be having them on full blast.
Full blast. Got you. Turn the volume down.
And I don't like when you're on the phone, on phone calls and stuff, and I be calling your name and then you start getting mad a little bit. But I just want you to do better with that, cause I'm your son, I'm your first. Me and Mijah are your second. Actually.
Okay, so when I'm on the phone, I need to hang it up.
Yes, pay attention to us.
Got you.
Your kids.
Okay. Anything else?
And
but why do you need to talk to me while I'm on the phone? Let's start there.
And let me borrow your phone when I need it.
Let you borrow my phone. Okay, so we really not we not doing this, right? we not doing this. Okay, so let you borrow my phone. That's a negative because you have your own. Be more attentive to you. Want me to listen to you?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else? That's real important. Like real important.
Let me think. I love you the way you are, Mom.
Okay.
And you're a good mom. That's the only thing it is to be attentive. And pay attention to us. That's it.
And pay attention to you. I got it.
And you do a good job from where you grew up from.
Okay, thank you.
Nana, I knew she was a lot harder on you.
Yes, she was. Yes, sir, buddy. Y'all got it easy compared to what me and your Uncle DJ went through. Shout out to my brother Dan Culbreth, who is out there doing big things. Him and his fiance and their family.
Shout out to Miss Aaliyah.
Aaliyah. Shout out to Aaliyah. Happy Mother's Day, girl. But me and your Uncle DJ, we pretty much
shout out Paris too.
And shout out to you, Paris. the boss of the house. Shout out to you. But yeah, so yeah. That sounds pretty good. Y'all got anything else y'all want to say to the people? Y'all want to say something to the people?
I want to say something.
Yeah,
Happy Mother's Day to all of you mothers, and your kid just wants to thank you for all that you have done, and thank you for all that you're gonna do, and whatever you're gonna do. Thank you, moms. Shout out to all the moms. Happy Mother's Day, y'all, and y'all doing a great job. Keep it up.
Doing a great job, and that's coming from the mayor, Mr. Buddy. Buddy said you are doing a great job, and I would second that because mothering is one of the hardest jobs in the entire world because you're raising up these little tiny humans, and some of us are doing the very best that we can, and some of us are not trying at all. If you are a mother who is struggling, and you don't really, know what to do, or you know what I'm saying, you're in a place, reach out, ask for help, contact me. I'm not superior, as you heard it, I'm not flawless, but I'm trying each and every day to do what I know to do to raise my children. And so we just want to tell you, we just want to encourage you and to love on you today. You got this. Even if you don't got this, you still got this. Why? Because you get up every single day. You press your way to provide for your children, to do what you need to do to be the very best mommy that you can be. And listen, long as your kids are fed, they clean, they healthy, they in a good environment, they're surviving. and y'all are together, you are doing a great job. You are doing a great job. And I want you to know that. I want you to know that the days are going to be hard. They're going to be long. Sometimes we're going to cry, we're going to laugh, but at the end of the day, we are mommies. We are mamas. We are bruh. We are ma'am. We are sir, sometimes, as Mijah called me. But we are doing the very best that we can do. We got this. Our kids are not going to be perfect. We are not going to be perfect. But as long as we get up every single day and strive to be the very best that we can be, we're going to raise children like this. And y'all already know they done got up here and done painted a beautiful picture of me. And I'm grateful for it, trust me. But like I said, I'm learning every single day, and that's all that matters. My kids are healthy, they're here, and we love you. And we hope you guys enjoy your Mother's Day. Kids, get up and do something for your mama. Wash them dishes. Switch out that laundry. I got Buddy on laundry duty. Switch out that laundry. Take that trash out. Cook her something. Even if you had to boil her a hot dog, let her sit on that couch and watch her TV. Fix her something to eat, because today is her day. It was 9 long months and then a push out or a takeout. However you were birthed into this world, you came through your mother. And so treat her like you are supposed to treat her. And the Bible tells us to honor thy mother and thy father, or unless thy days be shorter. Okay, so make sure, and I probably mixed up some words, but I'll post the exact scripture. But yes, we love you, and thank you so very much for tuning in to another great episode to Cutting Through the Red Tape with LaShonta. And we're out. Peace.
Bye.